President Trump set to visit a Marine Corps base in Arizona today, along with the U.S.-Mexico border. The visit to Yuma comes ahead of that campaign-style rally in Phoenix, scheduled for 10 p.m. this evening, as Doug was laying out. It will be the president's first visit to the state since he was elected back in November. Joining us now from Phoenix, former Sheriff of Pinal County, Arizona, former congressional candidate Paul Babeu. Paul, Democrats in Arizona, including the mayor of Phoenix, lambasting the president for holding the rally in the wake of the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, and his response to that. Do you think that this is a smart move to hold this rally now?
Absolutely. The president has accomplished much. Arizona has been, in a sense, a launching pad for the president and his agenda. This has been ground zero. When you look at not just illegal immigration, crimes against citizens, and the fact that all the drugs that have been coming into the United States, the opiates, when you talk about heroin throughout every state, guess where it's coming from? It's coming from Mexico. Now, it's no longer Pakistan. They're growing opiates, the poppies, down in Mexico. So it's not just marijuana. It's methamphetamine. It's opiates. So a secure border isn't just to stop illegal immigrants. It's to stop this drug smuggling that has been destroying America.
But let's get back to
Yes.
what the president is going to say tonight. And doesn't the reception, there are going to be protesters there, and there'll be people all over Twitter that have nothing but hate for the president. I understand that.
Right.
But it comes down to the tone that the president uses and him sticking to the message, part of which you were just laying out there.
Absolutely.
But is your concern that he starts shooting from the hip again, and he goes off course, and he doesn't stay on message, and doesn't, again, as he did last night, attempt to unite the country on these issues that we all support?
I believe the United States, even though there's a lot of division, there's a lot of emotion, the president is very popular here in Arizona. Let me make that clear. Some of his highest approval ratings in the country are right here. And I think that he's going to lay out not just about immigration, and he's going to Yuma for that partly for that purpose as well, because that's been the most secure part of the border historically, but also to talk about what he did last night, Afghanistan. I'm a retired Army officer. I served a tour in Iraq. I don't want to be in Afghanistan, but the president makes a very strong argument that it's much better for us to stay there rather than leave, because it means trouble for the United States in the future. Our world and our security has changed forever, and we have to understand that. So the president is going to talk about that. He's going to talk about enforcing the law, which has already changed. We've already seen a 70% decrease in illegal immigration across all of the borders.
Paul,
you're going to have his critics. You're going to have Democrats that are screaming and will say anything, but the president is very focused, and he has to remain so in order to lead our country.
Paul, Darren Porter's here. He has a question for you.
Paul, Darren Porter.
Of course.
I'm glad that you're on. Like yourself,
Yes,
I'm a former Army officer. In addition to that, I was also a lieutenant in the NYPD. So I genuinely understand your thoughts in connection with securing the border. I believe that Donald Trump is a firm proponent in securing the borders. However, when you take in consideration Sheriff Joe possibly receiving a pardon from Donald Trump, do you agree with that at this stage?
I think it's too early, quite frankly. Mike Noble, a pollster here in Arizona, OH Predictive, showed 50% of Arizonans are against that. Only 21% support it. I think it's too early. The president should wait until there's actually a sentence. He's 85 years old. This is a misdemeanor. He's not going to go to jail.
Okay,
so
Paul,
why pardon him? Yes.
Paul, I don't mean to cut you off. I understand it, and I think that's great. But do you agree that the overarching principles of the Fourth Amendment should always be applied in connection with stopping and seizing individuals?
What police officer or citizen would be against that?
Okay,
and
all right, so it's safe to say that you're in agreement with the application of the Fourth Amendment. So do you agree that Sheriff Joe's, I want to say his policies were staunchly against the Fourth Amendment?
No, this was a policy at the time of the Obama administration to not have local, county, state law enforcement help and enforce on the immigration issue. So here, this is a contempt of court ruling. So he's been found guilty of a misdemeanor contempt of court. And so the president, I don't believe he should pardon Sheriff Joe at this time. He should wait until a sentence is issued by the judge, and likely it's only a financial fine. The sheriff should just pay it. The president shouldn't expend his precious political capital on an issue like this that's so emotional. Let it rest a few days. That's my advice to our president, respectfully, is just wait. Let it play out. Do not pardon him at this time.
Paul, it was good to see you. Thank you for weighing in on that.
Good to see you, Dave.
We will
of course.
see what happens. It was great to have you with us this morning, Paul Babeu.
Thank you.
And